Today we're on the Balblair trail, which is part of the Kyle of Sutherland trails, north of Scotland, about an hour north of Inverness. A very nice trail, about 11 kilometres in length. Needs a very high level of fitness to be able to cycle the entire black route due to there being a lot of uphills, including rock features, slabs and rock steps. We're just starting off here on the black trail, just a little bit of single track through the woods. Quite a lot of these slabs, which can make the riding quite sort of up and down. Need a lot of pedal power on this. The video doesn't quite show you the gradient involved in this, but it certainly gives you an idea of the features involved. Fantastic scenery looking out across the Kyle. The slabs are linked up by these pieces of North Shore which have anti-slip surfaces put onto them. The rocks are actually very grippy even when they're wet, so you wouldn't need to worry if you were cycling this trail in particularly wet conditions. This is the first time I've ridden this trail, and I'd say that the trail will improve the more you ride it, because there's lots of places where you can't see that far ahead, and so caution is advised. It's quite a big uphill climb, an awful lot of pedalling. But it's certainly worth it for what's coming up now, because this is quite a nice, long, very twisty downhill. Second or third time around this track would certainly make a big difference, because you'd know all your lines, and as you can see from my riding here, I'm having to really think about the directions I'm going in. If you were riding it for the second or third time, you'd have a lot of that already in your mind, so you'd be able to go quicker. Quite a nice surface, mixture of sand and small rock, giving you plenty of grip but not being boggy in any way, so some fast running speeds. Need to allow about an hour and a half for this complete 11 kilometre black route. There is also a blue route on this particular trail set, which is just tends to be more sweeping woodland trails, single track trails. See a tremendous view there in the distance. Lots of sweeping corners and some pretty sharp ones as well. And as I was saying, because of the undergrowth, you can't see that far ahead. So I would advise caution on your first trip round, because you could very easily overshoot one of the sharp corners and end up in the undergrowth. This is the first bit of the downhill. It's broken into 3 sections. This is by far the longest of them. There's 3 trails in the Kyle of Sutherland set, if you include Goldsby, which really is slightly above the Kyle of Sutherland, but all 3 trails are fairly close together. Goldsby has another tremendous climb on it. You can see that by looking at the Goldsby video. The other one is a much shorter route, which is only about 4 kilometres in length, and we'll be showing that one, and that's Culbersdale. Quite interesting mixed surface on the track, some slabs. Don't think these trails get particularly busy, so you can go down with reasonable confidence that there's no one else going to be on the track looking at the surface. So couldn't see many other mountain bike trail tracks going down through it. Although of course it's used enough to keep it open. Here we are. This is a short section. That one previous was by far the longest of the downhill bits, and we're on a fairly short section now. There are some sort of rises within the trail as well, which can catch you a little bit sometimes if your gear's high for the downhill bit. Here's an example of the second ride down. Would have knowledge of that hump there and go off it rather than approaching it and trying to suss it out as you come up to it. Here we are on the last section now, which takes you back down to pretty well car park level on the trails. This is probably the one with the tightest corners on it overall. Not at this point, but a little bit further down the track anyway. It's very good bit of riding, these trails. Little hidden gem so far up in the UK. Fair way to travel to reach it, but if you were staying within the Inverness area or even a little bit further down near Aviemore, it's worth making the trip to experience these trails. I certainly had a great day riding this. Sun was shining, nice and warm, but not too warm.